The information that is being spread is that it's the single mothers who raise these delinquent kids, these kids that are going to jail and who don't do well in life, X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's a symptom. You can't look at a symptom. You have to look at the ailment and what the diagnosis is of that ailment. And that ailment and the diagnosis is that there's an absentee father.
Yeah, but sometimes, if not even most times, the woman breaks up the relationship with the dad, and then the woman doesn't let the dad see the kids, and then the woman is always using the kids as bait to against the dad, whether it's child support, whether family court. So some guys pay child support, but they still don't get to see their own kids. They're only given 2 days out of the week to see their own kids, but they're still required to keep paying child support. Right? So some ladies, if we're going to be honest, use the kids against the dads. So obviously the dad is going to grow resentful, but also the kids are going to grow resentful and hate the dad because they think the dad doesn't want to see them. But all along, the mom is saying bad things, bad mouthing the dad. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't want to see you. Not until later when the kids grow up and be like, oh, so all along you didn't let us see dad because you were mad because he got a new woman. He got a new wife. But by that time, the damage has been done and those kids need therapy.
But then on the flip, and you challenge it with the same numbers and the same stats with a single father, and the correlation is completely different, or the outcome is completely different when you compare them. So if I have a single father and it's like, okay, a single mother is 70% of the men in jail or whatever that stat is that he said.
He said 80. I don't know what the number
80.
is.
He did say 80.
I don't know the number.
Let's just say based on his stat, quote, 80% of them come from a single household with a mother. But then on the flip side, with the single household of a father, it's extremely less. So we can see what the actual problem is. But I mean, I can always agree because I don't think that boys need to be around or heavily influenced by women as kids. But what I'm saying is the comparison that we're saying is that a boy, essentially, we're not arguing that a father needs to be present. Well, a suitable father needs to be present. That's not the argument here. The argument here is that some women are choosing to not have a father present or have a father figure present for that boy.
That boy is good. Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
Specific.
Facts, because they refuse the father to spend time with his boy. They use him against the father. They know fathers care so much about their kids, especially sons. So what they do, they refuse to let the boy spend time with his father. Because they know that's going to hurt the father. But in actual sense, it actually hurts the kid more over time. Because he's going to go resentful towards the dad. You don't want to spend time with me. Because that's what the mom is going to be telling the boy. He doesn't want to see you. He doesn't want to spend time with you. He doesn't give us money to take care of you. Things like that. So the kid is going to grow resentful. Even when the dad shows up, the kid is going to have negative energy towards the dad. All along, the mom is doing that because the guy moved on with a new woman. Even when she's the one who broke up the relationship.
Specifically speaking. And then having pride of actually raising this boy without that person not knowing or believing that he's not going to be affected by not having that father around. And the actual stats are showing that a woman in most case basis cannot raise a good civilian boy. So that's the real thing. I mean, I could pull up so many different things. And then we talk about, all right, well, the chicken or the egg, who came first? Did black men abandon the black women and leave them for food? Or did black women bite the bait and take the money to kick the black man out of the household?
Yep.
Okay, so we can go back and forth because in different periods of times, they both happened, right? But that's not the point here. The point here is that the actual...
But I think it is the point because he's talking about information.
I also have friends right now. I could call them. They could come here and tell you the truth on how. Matter of fact, I got so excited when I was doing auditions for a show, and I had 3 men come on this, and I didn't know them or I didn't know their history. I had 3 men come on the show, and explain how they want custody of their child and how they had to fight for custody
Yeah.
of that child. First of all, so when we're talking about men leaving out of a child's life, I do think that that is a thing, but we completely disregard how hard it is for some of these men to even be a father.
Yeah, man. The whole thing of men having to see their kids and they're still required to pay child support, that shit rubs me the wrong way. Because a man can only fight too much, so long. Because it's like the money he's using to pay lawyers to fight to see his own kids, they could have used that money to support the kids. They could, because sometimes it's tens, thousands of dollars. That money could be used to be saved in a bank account to be used for the kids' future education, college education. But the man is spending money on lawyers to see his own kids. That shit pisses me off, man. No man deserves, no man should have to fight to see his own kids. So men give up. Men get tired of that. You know?
Because of the mother. Because of the mother. So you're telling me that when historically, the men that go to war, they take the women once they win the war. Well, what do you think happened with the government? They won the war, they took the women, right, in numerous different ways, and then they left the black man outside, and then the black man is now being ridiculed for all the systematic oppression and the dumbass psychological ways of thinking, of treating their family, and we are byproducts of what a woman has chose to against us. And it's been, again, because at some point in time, I don't believe that you can say, all right, this happened to me 50 years ago or happened to somebody in my family, my ancestors 50 years ago, and use that as an excuse. So at some point in time, yes, men now got to say, you know what? I know better. I know what they did, but I can't do it. I can't be what they were. So I do, like I said, again, it's been wrong here and wrong here, wrong here and wrong here, wrong here and wrong here.
I agree. There are some men who don't do nothing at all. And those men need to be called out. They need to be held accountable for sure. You know, especially if the woman is not using the courts of law against him. Those guys need to step up because those are the guys who paint a bad picture for the guys who actually put the effort to see their own kids and raise their kids the right way. But it's like the guys who want to do it the right way get punished. They get taken through the ringers, the courts, and things like that just to see their own kids. What do you guys think about that? I'll link down below the full video to 8 at the table. Good conversation, man.